One of the main factors behind Greece's economic recovery is the performance of its center-right government led by Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis. Since taking office in 2019, Mitsotakis has pursued a pro-business and pro-reform agenda that has boosted confidence, investment and growth in the country. According to the OECD, Greece has rebounded well from the COVID-19 crisis, generating strong employment growth. Increasing investments and exports, government support measures, implementation of the Greece 2.0 Recovery and Resilience Package and the reforms of the past decade have been supporting the economy. Greece 2.0 is a comprehensive reform plan that aims to transform the Greek economy and society by leveraging funds from the EU's Recovery and Resilience Facility. The plan focuses on 4 pillars: green transition, digital transformation, private investment and social cohesion. The plan will be financed by a mixture of grants and loans, including close cooperation with the EBRD and the EIB. Some of the key achievements of Mitsotakis's government include reducing taxes and social security contributions for businesses and households, especially for low-income earners. Improving the business environment by cutting red tape, simplifying regulations, digitalizing public services and strengthening the justice system. Attracting foreign direct investment in strategic sectors such as tourism, energy, technology and manufacturing. Enhancing public sector governance by fighting corruption, reforming public procurement and modernizing public administration. Supporting the green transition by phasing out coal-fired power plants, promoting renewable energy sources, improving energy efficiency and investing in green infrastructure. Boosting innovation and competitiveness by supporting research and development, fostering digital skills and literacy, upgrading education and training systems and increasing the size of Greek companies. Strengthening social cohesion by expanding social protection, improving healthcare and education services, addressing regional disparities and ensuring a just transition for workers affected by structural changes. As a result of these policies, Greece has achieved impressive economic results in the past 2 years. According to the European Commission, Greece's GDP grew by 6.7% in 2021, one of the highest rates in the EU. The unemployment rate fell from 16.9% in 2019 to 14.6% in 2021. The government balance improved from -9.7% of GDP in 2020 to -7.5% of GDP in 2021. The current account deficit narrowed from -7.4% of GDP in 2020 to -6.6% of GDP in 2021. The net FDI inflows increased from -1.5% of GDP in 2020 to -2.0% of GDP in 2021. Mitsotakis's government has delivered high growth, low unemployment and debt repayment since taking office in 2019. By implementing structural reforms, attracting investment and exploiting recovery funds, Greece has shown remarkable resilience and dynamism in the face of multiple challenges. Greece is on track to achieve its ambitious goals of becoming a greener, more digital and more inclusive economy. The February 2021 rail disaster that killed 57 people eroded public trust in the government and triggered a political crisis. On the night of February 25, a passenger train carrying some 350 people from Athens to Thessaloniki collided head-on with a freight train on the same track. The impact was so violent that the first 2 carriages of the passenger train caught fire and were almost completely destroyed. The third and fourth carriages were also derailed and severely damaged. The freight train was also wrecked. The crash happened near the town of Tempe, in northern Greece, as the passenger train emerged from a tunnel. It was the worst rail disaster in Greece's history, and one of the deadliest in Europe. At least 57 people died and dozens more were injured, some of them seriously. Many of the victims were young students returning to Thessaloniki after a holiday for Greek Orthodox Lent. The cause of the disaster was human error. The passenger train and the freight train were traveling in opposite directions but ended up on the same track due to a mistake by a stationmaster based at Larissa, which the passenger train had passed through. The station master, who was in charge of signaling, admitted to being partially responsible and was arrested. He was charged with manslaughter by negligence and grievous bodily harm by negligence. He denied wrongdoing and blamed the accident on a possible technical failure. But the station master was not the only one to blame. A report by an independent committee revealed a host of failings that led to the tragedy. The report found that there was no automatic braking system or collision warning system on the track where the crash occurred. The track was also poorly maintained and outdated. The trains were not equipped with black boxes or cameras that could record vital data. The communication between the station master and the train drivers was inadequate and unclear. The emergency response was slow and chaotic. The report also exposed the chronic underinvestment and neglect of Greece's rail network, which has suffered from years of austerity and mismanagement. Greece's railway infrastructure is among the worst in Europe, according to various indicators. The rail network has not been modernized or expanded for decades, despite receiving billions of euros from European funds. The rail company, Trainos, which operates both passenger and freight services, has been plagued by corruption scandals and financial losses. In 2017, Trainos was privatized and sold to an Italian company for a fraction of its value. The rail disaster sparked public outrage and political turmoil in Greece. Thousands of people took to the streets to protest against the government's handling of the crisis and demand justice for the victims. Many blamed Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis and his Conservative Party, New Democracy, for failing to ensure safety and accountability in the rail sector.